So it's early and I need to shave, and I should probably groom myself before I get on here, but I just have some things that are really driving me nuts. I'm constantly being hit by this argument that the reason that marriage between men and women should be protected and that's the only kind of marriage that should exist, is because marriage between men and women produces children. And when someone raises the question, then what about those people who are impotent or infertile? You know, what about women who've gone through menopause? Should those women be allowed to marry because they can't produce children? They say, well, wait, what goes on is men and women, sexual intercourse between males and females is the kind of thing that produces offspring. And so even though some woman has gone through menopause, her activity is still the kind of thing that produces offspring. That's garbage. It is absolute garbage. There's two huge things. First off, marriage is not in any way necessary for procreation. The idea that marriage is necessary for procreation is absurd. Before marriage existed in that short time, whenever that might have been, people were having children, but people have children out of wedlock all the time. It is completely unnecessary. There is no necessary relation, no causal relation between being married and having children. They are unrelated. It is absurd to suggest otherwise. The other thing, heterosexual intercourse is not the kind of thing that produces offspring. Fertilization of an egg is what produces a zygote. That's the kind of thing. And the zygote, having a place to live, having a place to continue on his path, is the kind of thing that produces offspring. But it is not the case at all that heterosexual relations are necessary. Heterosexual relations in fertile couples often do not result in pregnancy and do not result in offspring. Further, there are a number of ways to fertilize eggs outside of having sexual intercourse. And all those result in pregnancy. All those can result in having children. Heterosexual intercourse is not required. It's not necessary, and it's not even always sufficient. The idea that that's the kind of thing that produces offspring is completely absurd. And certainly the kind suggesting that infertile copulation is the kind of thing that produces offspring is the height of absurdity. It's the complete height of absurdity. Infertile copulation produces nothing. It is the kind of thing that produces nothing. The fact that the people that are infertile fertile, then that might result in offspring is wholly irrelevant. Because it turns out, if homosexuals were in fact fertile, then they could produce offspring. If things were different, if the world were a different place, then the world would be a different place. No lie. No lie. But the idea that infertile couples copulating, that's the kind of thing that produces offspring merely because they happen to be male and female is absurd. It's stupid. It's nonsense. Infertility, by definition, produces nothing. It is not the kind of thing that produces anything. This is a stupid, stupid argument. It's not just wrong. It's stupid, and all it shows is desperation to defend an argument that you can't actually defend.